Hey everybody, it's Marissa Dead. A lot of you know me from my previous WoW videos. I haven't done one in a while, so I thought I'd do one today. Uh, I was over on the Storm Rage realm, but I transferred over to Proudmoore a while back, and I'm playing my Demonology Warlock there, level 90. Been doing a lot of raiding. I raid every single week, do every single raid, and I love it. I love raiding. I think it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a challenge. And in honor of that, doing this video. So for those people that are maybe thinking about raiding, wondering what it's about, I'm going to let you know, and hopefully you'll get in a raid and have as much fun as I do. So the first thing you need to know is to get into a raid, Pandaria raid, you need at least a 460 gear score. If you don't have a 460 gear score, you're not going to be able to queue up for any raid. Also, if you are DPS, you're queuing up alone, your queue time is going to be between 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe even longer, depending on what's going on that day. If you are queuing up as a healer or a tank, or queuing up with either one of those, as a buddy system, your queue time is going to be a lot faster. But if you're queuing up by yourself as DPS, you're going to be waiting a little bit longer to get into a raid. If you don't have at least 45 minutes to an hour's worth of time to do a raid, then don't sign up for it, because that's how long they take, about 45 minutes at the quickest. If you have a group that keeps wiping and you're having difficulty, it's going to take longer than that. So just give a good block of time to do any one raid. Now that you got that out of the way, I want to let you know that raids are a really great way to get a lot of valor really quickly. Each raid awards 90 valor. There's a total of 720 valor points you can earn per week. Most gear that you can buy from any faction costs anywhere from 850 on up to over 2,000 valor points per piece. So of course, doing raids is a really fast way to get some of that gear a lot more quickly than, say, doing dailies and doing quests. Okay, so that's done. I recommend that before you do a raid, you go on YouTube and you check out videos of all the different fights. They're all over the place. That way you get a good idea of the mechanics of the fight, how it's done, what everybody does, so you're not walking in there blind. You know the layout, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're well prepared. Make sure that whatever class you're playing, whatever role you're taking, that you are spec'd correctly. Some specs in different classes are not good for certain roles. Like if you're a tank, and if you're in a certain spec that you can't hold aggro, the rest of the raid is going to suffer because you have the wrong spec. So make sure that that's in place before you queue up. Whatever role you've chosen, please only play that role. Focus on that one role. Don't try to do 2 or 3 jobs at once, because you're going to be a mess. If you're a healer, focus only on the healing. If you're DPS, do only the damage. If you're a tank, hold the aggro. Healers that try to do DPS, it never ends well, because they're not able to focus on keeping everybody alive. They're expending all their energy doing damage. Let's see. Speaking of healers, if you're in a raid with a healer and maybe they're not doing so great, the last thing you need to be doing is cussing them out and telling them they suck. That's a really, really bad idea, because it tempts them to leave the entire raid, which means everybody will have to wait for another healer to show up before they can proceed. Or if the healer stays in the raid, they may not heal you because you were such a dick to them. It's not mandatory they have to heal you. And trust me, you want the healers and the tanks on your side. So unless the healer is completely AFK, or purposely not doing their job, and they're not even trying, if they're doing that, then vote kick them. But if they're just, maybe they're new at what they're doing, You know, don't piss off the healer. You need them. Same thing with the tank. Leave them both alone. Um, don't do stupid shit during the raid. I've seen so many people doing stupid shit during the raid that pisses me off. I saw one person in the middle of a fight making bolts of cloth. Really, that can't wait till after the fight's over? You know, just save the unnecessary shit for after the fight. Don't do it during the fight when you're fighting a boss. You know, that's not good. You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. Focus on what your role is, and when the fight's over, you can do whatever you want. Um, if you are in a raid for the first time, uh, and you're doing your best, and you're just not familiar with the fight, and you're nervous, and people are giving you crap, just ignore the trolls. You know, you're gonna find trolls in looking for a raid at any given time. They're all over the place, and they just get a lot of satisfaction pissing other people off. Just ignore the trolls and just be part of the fight and do what you're supposed to do. And when it's over, you get your valor points and you go home. You know, so if there's a troll in your raid, just ignore him and just do what you're supposed to do. Um, Also, don't wear PvP gear in a raid. That also goes for dungeons, but don't do it in a raid. Why? Because it's harder for the healer to heal you because of the resilience in your gear. That's why it's such a no-no. Don't wear PvP gear. Ever. At all. Period. Don't wear it. So, I think I'm leaving out some important stuff. Shame on me. Now, as far as the Pandaria fights, please pay attention to this. If the boss throws something on you, like an effect, as right away, run away from your group. Run completely away from them to some bare area of the room. The boss isn't throwing that effect on you because he likes you. He's doing it because within a matter of a few seconds, whoever you're next to is going to get damaged once it detonates. So if the boss throws something on you, run. Run to the back of the room, run somewhere where nobody is, and that way when it activates, you're the only one getting hurt. If you see any glowing crap on the floor, stay out of it. Stay completely out of it. It's probably going to hurt you. Unless it's like a healer's healing rain, and that's different. But if you're somewhere and you notice that you're standing in something and you're taking damage, move somewhere. Don't stay there. You'd be surprised how many people ignore this and like, why did I just die? Well, because, you know, because you didn't move out of it. If there's any kind of buff food that you need, bring it with you to the raid. 99% of the time, people will bring banquets and set them out for others, or mages will bring their little mage tables. But if there's any kind of buff food that you need in particular, it's good to bring it along with you. One good thing for any of you guys that are amateurs as far as doing dungeons and raids, I highly recommend going to curse.com, and I put all that information beneath the video, curse.com, and downloading the free client, and then going on to their little add-ons and looking for an add-on called Deadly Boss Mod. That thing is, it's your best friend. If you've never done raids, that's your best friend, because what Deadly Boss Mod does is that it tells you exactly what you need to be doing, when to do it, and what to watch out for. So if you've never done a raid before or a dungeon before and you need someone to kind of coach you through things, Deadly Boss Mod is such a great help with that. I have it installed, and it just basically gives you warnings about when something's going to happen and when to move. And so download that on your computer if you don't already have it. I think I've covered everything. And one last thing: if you're in a raid and it completely sucks and you keep wiping over and over and you're sick of it and you leave, uh, basically Blizzard's going to penalize you for doing so by putting you in timeout for 30 minutes. You can't sign up for another raid for another half an hour. So just know that if you leave a raid, it'll take half an hour at least to get into another one. And cross your fingers that they don't fail either. So have fun raiding. I hope this has helped everybody. And maybe I'll see you guys in a raid myself. Take care.